What's up, everybody? Y'all know I'm somebody and I'm nobody. It's Tactical Outers. And today, I just wanted to talk to y'all while I clean my new gun that I just got. So let me show y'all. So it's nothing special. It's just a LE trade-in that I got for LE trade-in. Glock 30 Gen 4, 45 ACP. Small little thing, nice, compact. And after I clean it, we're going to load it, get it ready to go. So, all right, let's get into it. Loaded. I only got the one magazine so far, but we're gonna be loading in some Federal Premium HST. So make sure I got everything I got. Let me move this out the way. Move this right here. I got my rag, got my handgun cleaning kit, and I got my gun. I like the Lucas gun oil. They have a high temperature oil that I usually run like on my firearms. I got a binary or a super safety FRT, anything like that. I run this oil on there. I consider this some good oil. I'm not sponsored by them. One day, you know what I'm saying. But let's get into it, man. And then I have a placemat over there. I just didn't bother using that right now, so we're just gonna use this rag I have here to sit the fire on. You know what I mean? So I wanted to talk to y'all about why I believe concealed carry matters. Because I see a lot of stuff happening right now, especially in Virginia. They just passed a crazy gun law that is really going against law-abiding citizens, man, and it's horrendous to me. Because I believe in my Second Amendment right. I believe everybody should have the opportunity, granted they're law-abiding citizens, even though I still have some reservations about that. Everybody should have the right to carry a firearm. This is America. This is literally what this nation was founded on. But my thoughts about concealed carry, why I conceal carry, I live in a stand your ground state. So I don't have to remove myself from any situation if I don't necessarily need to when a danger may or a threat may occur. But I pride myself on not putting myself in any bad situations. And that the only time I would ever find myself in a situation like that, if somebody were to come into my personal private settings. I'm always home. I'm always in areas where I'm able to protect myself. I have access to my personal defense weapons. But if I'm going to talk about why I believe it matters, I think I should tell you guys where it started for me. So I had seen firearms coming up as a kid, but I'd never really handled them as much. My sister's uncle had an old M1 carbine style rifle that was firing like 30 cal, 30-06 or whatever caliber that was. And that's the only time I remember seeing that kind of firearm. I was always fascinated with stuff, with guns specifically as a kid. Just never had the opportunity to be around them. I'm a Call of Duty kid. So those are the games that I played coming up. One of my favorite games was Call of Duty World at War and Black Ops 2, and just the way that the weapons looked in those games were amazing. And I remember, funny enough, what was that, Modern Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare, I had saw the Beretta. Funny enough, the Beretta was the first pistol that I had fired when I joined the military. And I thought that it was just going to be a simple point shoot, the round is going to go there, etc. No, man, I hated the Beretta. It was just so top heavy to me. It was just very blocky. I didn't like it as much. It didn't move anything for me. And what really changed my perspective and showed me that, hey, maybe the Beretta might not be the pistol for me so I joined the Army around the time where they were transitioning from using the Berettas to the SIG M17s and M18s. And I fired both of those, and my shooting was a lot better. I went from qualifying, marksman to, because you got marksman, sharpshooter, expert. So I went from marksman to expert just from going from the M9 Beretta to the SIG M17. But and that really changed my shooting experience. So there's different brands of firearms, because I had only heard about, for music and video games, heard about Springfield, Beretta, Glock. And now I didn't know about SIG now. But then it kind of, learning more about firearms, it activated something in my mind, because a lot of my favorite TV shows just so happened to have, where it was action, drama. Some of my favorite TV shows coming up was Burn Notice, Person of Interest. My favorite movies were Black Hawk Down, We Were Soldiers. And looking back on those films now, and I'm able to identify the brands of firearms that they have now since I've been into this lifestyle for almost 2 years now. And to go back to what I was saying, go back to my original point, why I believe it matters to me. So my job in the military, I was a military police officer, and we would always do our oncoming briefs, our outgoing briefs, so on and so forth. And one thing that always mattered to me, that stuck with me, is that you had your levels of force, and using your firearm was always the last one. When I say last one, I mean actually pulling the trigger was always the last level of force. The sixth level of force would always be drawing your firearm or presenting the movement or the action of. If you don't back up or calm down, I'm going to pull my firearm. But number one that always stuck with me was number one, which is interpersonal communication. That stuck with me a lot because, yeah, you have to be able to de-escalate always. And learning a lot about these folks' self-defense situations is the ones that actually beat the case. Most of the time, they try to present themselves with an opportunity to get out of the situation before using a firearm. There was a girl I went to high school with, shout out her. She was actually in a self-defense situation where she tried to get out, and the state still tried to charge her with a crime when she did nothing wrong. She tried to leave. The woman stopped her from leaving, cut her tires, slashed her tires, bust out her window. So she had no choice but to defend herself. Reason why I love the Second Amendment, why I love carrying, why I love firearms is that this always stuck with me when they would mention the levels of force. And then another thing they would always mention me after they would say the level of force is that they would present a question, a statement saying, would you rather it be you? Or would you rather it be him coming home at the end of the night? And then everybody would answer, I would rather it be me, because who choose the perpetrator, the person that's swinging the pendulum, the person that's escalating said events? Who's gonna pick that person to come home at the end of the night over themselves? Not me. I'm gonna always choose myself. That's why I always choose to walk away. Every time, I always try to walk away. And carrying a firearm, I always learn that what they say about Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. It is a great responsibility. You have the power. When you're wielding this, you have the power to take someone's life. And that's big. That's big on you. That's big on them. That's big on your family. It's big on their family. Stuff like that matters. That's why I always try to de-escalate. That's why I always try to flee before doing anything else. Man, carrying a firearm, you have to be the scariest person in the room, bro. You have to be the scariest person. Because just one wrong mistake, it can cost you your life, whether it be in a grave 6 feet deep or whether it be you behind bars. I don't ever want to be in that predicament. I always want to be ready to handle that situation, but I don't ever want to be in that predicament. I say all that to say, the fact that states have the ability to take that choice away from people, it's opening up another can of worms that I feel we won't be able to close as a country. So I want to know what y'all think. Why do you carry? I have nothing else. That's it. That's all. And let's see, man. Wiped everything down. All right. That's it. I need to make this for a short, so we got it. Glock 45, Glock 30, Gen 4, 45 auto. You know what I'm saying?